What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another spooky Ghost Adventures video. I'm here with Delta today. She's gonna be reacting to this episode of Ghost Adventures with me. Hopefully she stays. So the episode I'm gonna be reacting to today is called Panic in Amarillo. Unlike my first Ghost Adventures video where I was talking about the most believable things I've seen on the show, I wanted to kind of do a watch through reaction video to this one for the bullshittedness, if you will, of this episode. My makeup look is pretty cute today, by the way. You can't really see it with my glasses on, but this is the look. But seriously, this episode is obnoxiously fake, but not in the way that like Ghost Adventures themselves were faking it. You know what? Let me just explain this episode to you. Ghost Adventures decided to do an episode to help this family who reached out to them talking about how their house is haunted by demons and it's destroying this woman's family. And so she called Ghost Adventures for help, and it just ends up being the absolute most bullshit thing I've ever seen. Let's get right into it then. So the episode basically starts out with Zach talking about how serious the situation is and how this is a matter of life or death, and that there's a 4-year-old girl who is involved and she's been getting attacked and scratched by this demonic entity as well as the mom. But I guess out of the family, it's just the mom and the daughter getting scratched. It's fishy from the jump. I mean, just look at how fucking nasty this house is. And there are so many different clips from this episode that show this. And you know what? Listen, I'm a messy person. I can't judge too much. But the thing is, these people knew they were going to be on TV. And if you have a dirty house and it is going to be shown on TV for the world to see, you know you're going to clean that shit for the world. So you know this is good to them. They're like, this is all right. This is normal. House is clean, but it still looks like this throughout the whole episode. So, but you know what? Whatever. Let's just start watching.
As soon as we arrive, the activity begins. The Prather's dogs mysteriously force their way out of the front door and run away at top speed.
You know, I grew up with dogs. When they see new people, or you know what? A lot of dogs just, when you open the door, a lot of dogs have to be taken out on leashes, you know? You open that door, they'll just go running. That's how dogs are a lot of times, you know? Whatever.
So we offer to help the mother, Janella, track them down.
Oh, she said get thumbs up.
Oh, God.
She's got them.
She's got them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
Okay,
She
yes.
found the dogs.
Did something spook them?
There was a loud thump in the house, and then they darted out the front door,
Okay.
and everyone in the house heard it.
Okay.
And by the way, everyone in the house heard it. Y'all know that video of that little girl like recording herself in like her closet or whatever, and she farts and she tries to blame it on a ghost?
There's nothing to wear. Did you guys hear that? I'm scared. I don't know what was that, guys, and I didn't do that. I'm scared.
It's giving that video. Like, okay, honey. Like, you're talking to Zach Bagans. This man will literally believe anything. You don't need to compensate that much. Whatever. So they then go on to talk about how her and her husband cannot move due to finance problems, and that they have 4 kids, but only one of them lives with them. And according to her, it's because all the other kids are, of course, scared of the house. But not only are they scared of the house, they're apparently scared of the bad man in the house. And there's one specific room that apparently they say the bad man is always in. He says he's gonna kill them and all this or whatever. It's the bad man. That is the reason why the kids don't live there. Here, she starts describing this entity that she's apparently been seeing since she was little and how she sees it in dreams or whatever. And she describes it as having this symbol on its forehead.
It's kind of like a cross, but instead of being just two straight lines, it's got a circle at the top, but it's upside down. And anytime he tries to tell me something, you can smell burning flesh, and it starts to bleed.
So later, Jay ends up coming to Zach and telling him what the symbol is that she described.
It's an ankh.
But here's my thing. Put yourself into this position. If you've really been seeing this man like vividly, this entity, your entire life, and it has been the same dude, and it's had this fucking symbol on its forehead that literally bleeds and burns and all this, would you have not looked up what that symbol is? Like gone to Google and been like, upside down cross with circle on the top, enter. And then the first fucking thing that pops up is what you were looking for. Like, she's been seeing this thing her whole life, but she's never looked it up. She's just like, oh, it's an upside down cross? Well, it's like a cross, but it's got like a circle, but then it's upside down. You would know what that is.
What are the really disturbing?
I'm sorry, can we just look at this bitch's face? I swear to God, she's like holding back a smile right now. She's like, oh my God, I got him good with that entity story. He's eating this shit up. Like, that is what her face is telling me. Like, she is holding back a shit-eating grin. Like, I'm sorry. Does she not look like she's like holding back a smile?
What are the really disturbing attacks that are happening physically to you?
I think the worst ones are when I'm getting scratches that are breaking the skin open. It's always in a set of 3 claw marks down.
Okay. Let me just make one thing really clear. Of course it is in 3 claw marks. Of course it is. Because anyone who fucking watches Ghost Adventures knows what the number 3 means. Especially when it refers to scratches on somebody or 3 knocks. Am I right? We all know what that is on Ghost Adventures. So of course she has to emphasize to Zach Bagans that it's a set of 3 every time.
Now our 3-year-old has started getting scratched.
Your 3-year-old daughter?
Yes, she started getting scratched about 6 months ago.
She woke up crying, and she really couldn't tell me what had happened. She just says it hurts. She was pretty upset.
I'd be scared to live in that house too, you know what I'm saying?
This eyewitness is uncomfortable appearing on camera.
I wonder who the hell this eyewitness could be. I mean, this is so obviously one of their kids, right? You know, one of the kids that doesn't want to live in the house because they're scared of the bad man. Whatever, let's see what she has to say.
I asked her if she has noticed any emotional change in Janella.
She was seeming to be mad at everyone quite often. She's always had slight anger issues, but...
There it is. Of course she has. The kid just said it. She's always had anger issues. And goddamn, I think I found out who the bad man is the house, you know what I'm saying? Sheesh. Whee! I'd be scared to live there too. Damn. I'm scared of the bad man too.
not as bad as what's been happening lately.
Okay. Do you think she could be attacking herself?
I'm not sure. I've never really thought about it that way.
Never thought about it that way. How the hell have you never thought about it that way? She just said she has anger issues. You just said she has anger issues. How have you never thought about it that way? Here, the dad goes on to explain that him and Janella have had knockdown, drag-out fights because of the entity in the house and how it's affecting her and how it would trigger some crazy mood swings. She would blow up when she was fine the minute before, and how it's apparently totally out of character for her. Like, the more I watch this episode, the more it just sounds like the mom is fucking abusive and a psycho. I mean, what else do you want me to say? She obviously thought one day, was watching Ghost Adventures and thought one day, you know what? I'm just gonna blame all my abusive behavior on a demon and I'll be on TV. That's my assumption of what happened.
It would be like totally out of character for her.
Jesus!
Slam doors or I'll throw things.
No explanation.
No explanation.
No explanation? What do you mean, no explanation? Of course there's no explanation. There's no reason for abuse. What you're describing is abuse. There's no explanation or reason to abuse someone. You're just crazy. So now he's talking to some ordained minister who has apparently blessed the house multiple times, and I guess it just, according to her, gets worse after every time. He goes on to tell Zach that there is some legend around where they lived that there was like some little kid or something that died in the backyard or something like that. Even the dad goes on to talk about how he heard this story. Of course, the crew researches it and is unable to find any documentation to support these reports of any death at the house whatsoever. This is the first thing they try to do, I guess, to kick off the investigation. They try to do an EVP session in the room where the kids apparently see the bad man. Of course, they don't receive anything on the recorder. They receive no evidence, not even one of those bullshit whispers that sounds like air flying by the microphone. All right, so now it's the next day. The crew has found out that the little girl was attacked that morning or whatever. Zach is pissed.
And now I'm really upset. I'm angry.
And he's just really not cool with this whole 3-year-old girl situation.
As we approach the Prather's house, we hear Graceland in distress.
So what happened? What
Okay, can I just point out, for those of you who watch Ghost Adventures, we all know that, like, when Zach is in, like, a questionable area, like a basement or a cave or something with lots of dust, he's always wearing a mask because apparently he has, like, some sort of, like, breathing problem. But he never wears the masks in, like, a currently operating establishment, whether it be a fucking house or hotel or prison or whatever. But he's wearing one in this fucking house. But not only Zach, the entire crew is wearing masks, which they never do unless they're literally in a building full of like fucking asbestos or whatever. If I had to guess, this fucking house smells like dog piss, because that's what it looks like to me. So right here, she's explaining that the kid woke up crying really early, saying that her back was hurting, and they lifted up her shirt, and of course there's 3 scratch marks down her back.
is she scared from us or something here?
No, she started saying it as soon as we walked in the house.
What did she start saying?
I'm scared.
She's probably scared of the bad man, you know what I'm saying?
We head to the bedroom to do a pre-lockdown investigation.
And she sleeps right here, so you can plainly see that there was nothing on the bed that could have scratched her.
And I didn't do that.
How does that make you feel? That we're going to use power to eradicate you from this home? Let us see how you manifest. Do something right now.
What the hell is that face? What the hell is that face? The bad man's coming out of her. That's what that face is. That's the bad man right there. So what's actually happening is she feels burning on her back suddenly as they're provoking this demon spirit. And what did you know it? They pull up her shirt and there's 3 claw marks down her back.
This is not a safe situation, okay?
No, this is not a safe situation for a lot of reasons. None of them being because there is a fucking demon in the house.
As I become aware of some red flags in this case, I'm already on high alert for inconsistencies or contradictions.
Now at this point, they bring their bishop friend, Brian, who I guess performs exorcisms, and he explains that he has never seen a possession or demonic oppression in anyone younger than 6 years old, and that it is extremely rare for a demon to, oppress a small child of this age for, whatever reason, but he knows more about demons than I do, so who am I to question his authority? So now they brought the bishop guy to the house, and Janella is going to explain to them what's been going on, But look at this. There is that fucking smile again. Tell me she's not holding back a smile. Look at that face. And she's like, oh my god, the priests are here. I'm telling you, the viewers are going to eat this shit up. She's thinking she's gonna be fucking famous. She's like so happy to tell them about how oppressed they are by these demons.
What it's sounding like so far, man. Of course, we have to kind of...
And it's always 3 scratch marks.
Always in 3s. Okay. In our work,
I'm scared. I don't know what was that, guys.
You got burning on your back again?
Yes.
Or,
And the other one's faded?
They do seem to be located in the same area and are following the same outwards motion towards her side, which now raises a flag for me.
Can I have you stand up for a second? Can you just reach your arm back? Can you reach your back? I just want to make sure you're not doing anything involuntarily.
I can't bend more than that because I have...
Oh, wow. What happened to your shoulder?
I dislocated it under the rotator cuff.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? I also fractured my shoulder. Or is this one? I tore my rotator cuff too, so you know what? Totally valid. She can't reach her arm back there. I couldn't either when I tore mine. But, mine I think was only partial. I never needed surgery for it or anything, so you know what? I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on this one. This one's valid.
Janella proceeds to show me a large scar on her shoulder where she had rotator cuff surgery, which she claims prevents her from reaching her arm back any further than seen here. However, during her earlier scratches with us in her bedroom the previous day, Aaron's video camera on his phone told a much different story. Seconds before Janella shows us her back, you can see her quickly reach her arm much, much farther behind her back than what she is telling us right now. Here is a split screen comparison of the footage. Now, I'm not saying that in this moment Janella scratched her own back.
I mean... Gotcha, bitch. The priest then asks, have you checked the kids' back today? And she's like, actually, no, I totally haven't. Of course, they check her back and there is a scratch on it. Dude, this poor fucking kid. Like, obviously there's no fucking demonic entities in this house. And she's literally just got her parents fucking... her mom, scratching her and shit, and she's definitely wondering, why the fuck is my mom doing this to me? Meanwhile, she's got these random people fucking poking her and looking at her, and this is obviously fucking traumatizing for a 3-year-old, all for one drop of clout for the mom. So at this point, the bishop and his little disciples, I don't know what you'd call them, bring Janella and the little girl into the room, and they start reading some shit from the Bible, and then they squirt them with a little bit of holy water. Bada bing, bada boom, they're blessed.
How do you feel, Janelle?
I feel calmer. Almost like peaceful that I haven't felt in a long time.
Didn't we just learn earlier that you've been blessed and you've had the house blessed like multiple fucking times? What's different now? Why do you feel peaceful and calmer now? Is it because you're on TV? So they've begun the investigation. They're basically, the priest hasn't blessed the house yet. He just performed a blessing on Janella and the daughter because they want to try to get some demonic activity out of the house before it's blessed. So right now, Zach is just walking around provoking the spirit, you know, trying to offend it so that it comes out.
Show yourself, coward.
Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch. So at this point, Billy receives a little bit of EMF spikes on the EMF detector. But of course he's in the kitchen standing between the fridge and the oven. So they back up away from him, try to get some EMF, and then it is obviously debunked as coming from the refrigerator. They try doing some spirit box sessions, nothing happens, obviously.
Hear what sounds like some type of deep growl.
At this point, they get the, basically only thing that freaks them out throughout this entire investigation. They all hear a growl. Everyone hears it. But then they, immediately after hearing a growl, they realize that the toilet just started running and debunked it as being the toilet. So they all agree they didn't experience anything paranormal and definitely nothing demonic, but the priest decides, they all decide they're gonna bless the house anyways, just because they're worried, basically just for this little girl. But at this point, I'm pretty sure they all know what is really going on here. After the walkthrough, the priest even concludes that he does not feel or suspect any sort of demonic presence happening in this house, obviously.
After analyzing all of the questionable evidence and moments that raised a lot of flags during this investigation,
I feel calmer.
I make a quick phone call, Bishop Brian and myself.
Remember that part. Bookmark that, what Zach just said. So there you go. There was a lot of stuff that ended up happening after this case. A lot of Reddit posts from people who know this Janella woman. And I kind of wanted to get a little bit into that. So this is the post that sparked all the controversy. It's from someone who claims they have known the husband for 30-something years. You could pause to read it, but it's basically saying that the husband did leave Janella, the house is still gross, and the kids actually didn't live with her at the time because she was abusive, as I suspected. Apparently, the grandma also had custody of the other kids at that time, too. They talk about how Janella was apparently horrible to her stepdaughter, who I assume is the girl from the anonymous interview. And they talk about how she lies about having cancer and being pregnant every other month, and how there's been over 200 CPS calls. They also bring up something about a baby dying. Now, I wasn't able to find very much about this, but I did find this obituary that, as far as I can tell, is for a baby that did belong to Janella. That is her maiden name there, as well as her ex-husband. I just wasn't able to find anything about what the circumstances were or what the reason was for the baby's death. I also found this arrest record for somebody with the same first and last maiden name. There were a lot of charges on here, including 2 that were for assault resulting in bodily harm to a family member. And lastly, the reason I told you guys to remember that thing Zach said is because it is said that Bishop Brian and Sister Mary Joseph had actually called CPS when the filming was over for this episode, and Sister Mary Joseph confirmed this on Twitter. But that's gonna basically be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope, it wasn't exactly spooky, but I hope it had some spooky Halloween vibes. And, hopefully I'll be able to make 1 or 2 more Halloween kind of videos, just before the season is over, But yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Say bye, Delta. Okay, bye-bye. She's trying to grab my hair. Silly girl.